Woo! I know y'all like that guitar riff coming into the show right there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Path of the Brush. I'm your host, Rick. And today it's going to be kind of fun because we're going back to our roots, right, with Dungeons and Dragons. But we're doing some epic encounters from, I have the bad box there. Well, you know what? Let's bring on the boys. Hey, Mark. Hey, Will. You guys, you might recognize these two guys from Path of the Brush 2 and Passion of the Brush Season 1. What's up, guys?
Been
So,
around.
What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Will?
chilling, having a great time here at Hoplite Games. That's where we're broadcasting live from. And we're going to be working on Steamforge Games Epic Encounters, but we all have different encounter boxes, which is kind of cool. So, what do you got, Will?
I have the Arena of the Undead Horde.
Sweet. And Mark?
The Cave of the Manticore.
Sweet. And I'm working on the Savannah of the Knoll and also the Knoll War Seeker. So the Savannah of the Knoll comes with a bunch of minions, right? These little guys, little gnolls. But the War Seeker is monstrous. Look at this thing. It is huge. All right. When you comparatively, right? Look at that.
That's a big dude.
All right.
He kind of looks
It's a
like a
monster.
good boy. We had two very different takes on him there.
So, people don't know about the Epic Encounters. It's basically a dungeon in a box, right?
Yep, for sure.
You get this
Go
beautiful map, and this is kind of like one of those Nevercare type papers where you can actually, wet erase on it, right?
Mm-hmm. You sure can.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, they're really nice. So it comes with an adventure and some adventure hooks to insert this into possibly a long running campaign, or if you just want to do it as a one shot. Every major box or big bad box, which would be the War Seeker, has an associative minions box. So like Will is painting a minions box, and Mark is painting a boss box with the Manticore, which is sick. And I believe the one that Will's doing, the big bad, is a lich in her own box, a lich queen, which is super cool.
Oh, Lich. And then there's
Yeah.
some little tokens. You can pop these chits out, and
Mhm.
some bandits, some mounted bandits, and they just can be played with like those little other little minions.
Right. So the good thing about that is if you don't get the minions box, you can use the punch outs in the boss box that come with it. Right. But that's the great thing about getting the minions box. Then you can just use the regular miniatures to represent those punch outs. So, or just add them all together. Now you have even more bad guys.
Who doesn't
All
like
right.
smashing minions?
Look at this guy here, and I did just pick this up from Rick, so I'm gonna have to do a little prime action, prime time. But it's gonna be good. And then the tail, it's got in the Manticore style, has a scorpion tail. Let me hope that's not a bad thing. I just got stung by it. It's probably fine.
You should be fine. You have to worry about the young ones that can't control the release of the venom.
They
The
got
adult
too
ones
much.
are fine.
Did you ever watch Aqua Teen, Hunger Force, or Sea Lab 2021? So, did you remember the Sea Lab 2021? And it was like an old Hulk, the captain. It was the Bebop Cola episode, and he goes down. I can't remember the whole thing, but he basically turns into like the Green Hulk at some point of this. But he tries to get Bebop Cola out of this machine. It was like Bebop Cola, and it doesn't. He hits the buttons and it shoots the wrong one out at him, and he gets mad, so he hits the machine, and then it falls on him, and he's like stuck under this machine on one of the lower levels of the ship, and this scorpion comes out and like would sting him, and he's like, "Oh no, that can't be good." And then by the end of it, he's like, he needs more of the juice from the scorpion, so he comes and goes, "Hey man, give me that good stuff," and then it hits him, he goes, "Ah," and then there's a little robot that comes around and like smashes him in the face, and his teeth fall out, and he's like scooping up all of his teeth. It doesn't make any sense. He's like, "What are you doing, man? Making a necklace?" And at the end of it is when he busts out like the big Hulk. But anyways, Sea Lab 2021, it was a ridiculous Adult Swim cartoon back in the early 2000s.
Early,
That was
I think
awesome.
it was.
Yeah.
Definitely worth checking out. You mind if I glue this tail in? I feel
No, please do. Please do.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. get some glue on this bad mamma jamma.
And so one of the great things about these box sets too is because they are self-contained, and then everything, all the ones that we're painting will be used here at the store for the dungeon masters that come in, and especially to run adventures with the kids that are part of our excuse me, our Hoplite Heroes program. So there's a lot of benefit to these being at the store here in at Hoplite, but in your own campaigns, it's one of those great things where, like, if you're playing D&D and you're like the dungeon master and you're like, man, I just don't have the time or bandwidth this week to really prep for next week. Let's do a little side quest to do this thing, which could actually take up to a couple of sessions for you. And you don't have to do a lot of deep dive into it. Just got to read the books. And what's also cool about like the boss guy here is they I think even the minion boxes do it. It will, if you could look in the minion box that you have, is there a scaled levels, like if it's for low levels, mid levels, and high levels, right in it should be on like the first page or two. It'll tell you how to scale it to your party's specific.
Yeah, right on the very first page, it's got before starting. It's divided into 3 tiers of play: levels 1 to 4, 5 to 10, and 10 and higher.
Nice.
Tells you the difficulty check and all that.
That's awesome. And so they do that with both the minion boxes and the big bad boxes, right? And some of the big bads, when you go up against them at their highest critical CR rating, it can be crazy because they'll have legendary actions, and then there's lair features too. The lair can basically have an action every round as well, depending on what box set you're using. And I think that's one of the cooler things about this that like heightens the anxiety of the event is you've got legendary actions, which for a lot of these creatures are after any character does an action, the monster can then do a legendary action. Yeah, right there. The locations have location or lair effects. It's
The
crazy.
bridge, the climb, and it breaks it into chunks. Each one there's probably the spikes. It's only 2 or 3 paragraphs, so like Rick, you're saying you don't need to go. You're making stuff up on the fly. It's going to give you kind of the specs of each monster, strength, dex, con, all that stuff, just its abilities and actions. But it is like very easy. So you could cheat it and an hour before just kind of read through this, and you would probably come out all right. Because sometimes the one-off or the big box ones, it is tougher to do that. It gets like
sure.
You got to read 30 pages before you really get deep into stuff, and that ain't going to work in an hour, right?
Exactly. I'm thinking about with this bigger guy here, giving his like pants and his like waistline skirting here, painting it of purple. So because he's big like the Hulk, have purple pants like the Hulk.
We love that Hulk.
We do. The Hulk is great.
And the throwback to a couple shows ago, the purple pants here for the Marvel United.
Yeah,
remember those purple pants?
They were the
I would
best.
suggest some Diabolic Plum from our Army Painter Fanatic line. Yeah.
Ooh, I think that's the one I have here.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, nope. I have Mage Cast Magenta.
Oh, okay.
I've got.
I was using some Warlock Magenta as kind of a secondary highlight. The great names from
the Army Painter.
Those guys.
The Army Painter. Boom. I couldn't figure out what glue to use, but I used this here from the Army Painter as well. Their Army Painter plastic glue. I actually really like it. Yeah. I feel like it has a lower stink level, and it's not just like pure liquid. It's got a little bit of gelness to it, which is nice. So, anyways, that's how that's.
I like your rating on that. It's got a low stink factor.
Well, the low stink factor is huge. Like what is it? Tamiya.
Yes, the Tamiya putty stuff. Well, it's not putty, but it's
the cement.
It's kind of a
cement
kind of a gel
here.
Yeah,
this
kind of
stuff
a gel.
Has a high stink factor.
Oh,
and Tamiya is more like nail polish remover.
It definitely does that. It melts the plastic in a very nail polishy way. Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely open a window, have a fan going. You know.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm
Very
gonna step
cool.
off camera for a moment here. I gotta find my prime time. You like that when you organize your area? I was like, oh,
Mhm.
nice and organized. And I think I say this every time. I lose it down a manhole cover. You know. I don't know.
Why are you putting those in your basement?
Looking for the Ninja Turtles, bro.
Yeah, giving them another access point to the city.
Gotta look out for them turtles.
That's right.
This horde is fun. Love my undead hordes.
Right.
There's a
And
big
the
fella
horde
right here.
is which is the big one that you got in there?
Oh,
Well, this is one of the big ones. This big fella, he's got a
Oh,
backpack
yeah.
full of bones. Put him in the bone bag.
That's
Oh yeah, he's a dirty horde. Yep.
Dirty horde.
Yeah, guess where I found my primer? It was right in front of me the whole time.
what? That's crazy. Is was all the miniatures spots filled out in that box, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm,
this is definitely a batch painting box because there's a lot of bones.
oh, for sure.
Bunch of skelly men's. Which viewers, I'd like to warn all of you that there's a skeleton inside of you right now.
Oh no.
The spooky, scary skeleton in the house.
You see, that makes me feel like that's a line where you have to do the whole. I think it's from Family Guy, or where the guy goes, "Oh no, oh no, there's a skeleton inside me right now. Oh no." Every time that character does that, I get like these great, like, chortling deep laughter in me because it's so funny. Uh, oh no, not a skeleton. I love it. Yeah, so I'm putting on right now. The brown I'm using is called Onyx Skin, with a darker brown than the ruddy fur that I used on the fur of the Knoll here, the Knoll War Seeker, and it'll the ruddy fur I used was also part of the Army Painter Speed Paints 2.0, which these models are built for that, right?
Yeah.
They're built for using speed paint because there's so many, as far as, like, especially the smaller models, there's just so many cracks and crevices and stuff that the speed paint just loves to get into and give you all that depth, right? Which makes it fun.
Yeah, with
when you
these
get-
new tools that they have for painting, it's like
Yeah.
color by number, but you get to cheat.
For sure. It's like you're a wizard, Harry, with your magical brush. Right? So good.
Yeah. All the speed paint stuff. Like, well, there wasn't really good washes when I was painting for a
Mhm.
while, and that was a huge difference.
No, for sure.
But now speed paints, man. I mean, they're another tool in the box, and it's a great tool.
Heck yeah. Love them. Love them. So if anybody watching wants to let us know what you're painting, please comment in the chat and say, I'm painting this. And we'd love to see and hear about all the cool stuff the community's working on.
Yeah.
So please share.
Sharon's Karen.
I agree.
Well, it's
Oh,
Karen's Sharon, and then it's weird.
So, what did you guys do for May the 5th?
You mean
Or May-
Revenge
May
of
Yeah,
Revenge
Revenge
of the Fifth?
I'm sorry, or May the 4th.
So we didn't really do anything here at the store for May the 4th because so many other stores were doing the May the 4th thing. So we decided to do a Revenge of the 5th event for Star Wars Unlimited here at the store, and we had a great turnout, a lot of fun. And for those of you that don't know, Star Wars Unlimited is a new Star Wars collectible card game by Fantasy Flight Games, and the winner got to choose between either winning a lightsaber or a playmat that was an event exclusive playmat that featured K2SO from Rogue One. And the winner chose the playmat, and the second place player got the lightsaber.
That was a legit lightsaber too.
It was a legit lightsaber. Yeah, by
Thanks for
Ultra
thanks
Sabers.
for the text on that one.
Yeah, you got to hold that. You got to play with it, didn't you?
I did see it though. I did see it. I was on because I got a game in last Thursday out there
Mhm.
in the Conquest tournament. Just saying,
Yeah.
right now, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I am the leader. The
I
point
know.
leader.
It's crazy.
I think the only thing that really happened is when Jeff was organizing it, he made
Mhm.
one of the weeks a short week, and I didn't know until the day of, and everybody else also didn't know. So
Right.
it unfortunately like robbed people of a game. So Jeff, if you're listening, we're angry, but I'm happy.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
not angry.
But I'm happy.
That's funny.
That was cool. You had speaking of D&D, you had a group, the younglings. You had a camp going on, didn't you, in the back?
On
Sort of.
on Saturdays. So our Hoplite Heroes program is a program for the kids here in the Lansing area that if they join the club, basically they get the parents can drop them off on Saturdays and some Sundays from noon to 4, and they get to play Dungeons and Dragons, paint miniatures, do some workshop stuff. It's really whatever the kids want to do. They all want to play D&D. So and they're all amazing kids, and I call them my chaos crew because they're chaotic. I don't think there's a lawful character amongst them.
Like, who wants to be the paladin? And they're like,
pass. Yeah, they're good kids. All of them are. And it's going to be fun to watch how they progress as players as they get, as they age up and stuff and mature into the game as well. So I'm really excited to see how that progression goes.
Yeah, I got to play right next to him when like maybe 3 weeks ago for my Conquest game.
Yep.
That was fun. They were very excited about every little thing that happened in that entire game.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you were showing off the lightsaber, and you're like, when you go in the back and you light up the lightsaber, and then you pretend to force choke like a kid will actually go,
Yeah. Yep. That was the one that was doing that was one of the young ones called Will, and Will's a really good kid. Again, they're all really good kids. Will is very good at being a ambassador for the game, in that whenever a new kid shows up, Will's there and he's very calm and patient to help them with their character and everything. I think he's going to make a great dungeon master someday. So
like the actual Will on this call, very similar.
Also calm and patient with many people.
Right. Puts up with us.
Yeah, puts up. That's exactly where I was going to go with it too. He puts up with us.
Oh, yeah. It ain't nothing.
But being a vanguard and even before, you won the best sportsman in the past. Like, you are definitely about bringing the hobby to the next level, and the introduction. Like, I think almost at every game store you've done demo days and things like that as well. So kudos to Will.
Yeah, Will's great.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks, guys.
For sure, dude.
I just want to make it accessible.
Yeah.
I've had that problem at game stores in the past where you come in there and it's more like it's a club for just the guys who are already there. Yeah. And you have to just keep coming back until they realize this guy's in the club now.
Right. Guys, I'm also here. But yeah, there's a few people in the game stores that maybe, they don't know how to make friends either. So, you might think they might be being weird and awkward, then you realize they're weird and awkward to everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not you. It's them.
Yeah.
So always be friendly to your patron, right?
That's right. To your fellow gamer until it's time to not be a friend to your fellow gamer. And that's when you're sitting across from them and you have your dice in hand and you're like, I'm sorry, did you just say you wanted to steal from my character? Or did you just touch my dice? It's on. That's another thing that the kids like too, is when we do arena combat. and they get
Oh,
to
okay.
pit their characters against each other.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Good way to learn the rules, right? And
it is for sure, especially as they level up and they learn that they have more superpowers, basically. And it's fun for them to do. Like, if I could, every time they level, I would have them get transported to an arena to do an arena combat, so they can get familiar with their characters' new abilities and stuff.
what do
But
they? How do you run the arena? Does it do real damage to them? Do they come back hurt, or is it only in the arena they get special, maybe some
yeah,
special items, something like that?
no, they get whatever they have on them, and then they would basically just fight it out, and they don't get hurt in the real game. It's really
Just to
just
learn. Yeah.
a bragging right situation, and also a would allow them to basically understand their character better, right? That's
Yep.
how I would use it. But they almost always opt out of doing that just to continue the story,
Yeah.
which is great.
Are they starting to get into the role playing of like, either voices or getting into character, stuff like that? Are they enjoying that portion of it?
There's one of the players that I think wants to be doing more of that, but the majority is kill all things, take all treasure, murder hobos.
With a shotgun, yeah, right?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Everybody you run into is just a bag full of experience points.
Yes, exactly. Or a potential carrier of some exotic treasure item that they don't know
Hey, what's
about
in your
and can't
pocket?
see. They don't know about and they can't see it, but they assume that it's carrying like a Vorpal sword, and they must have it. He's
That's
just a merchant. Yeah, but he could have a Vorpal sword. He's just
Who
a
are you gonna buy stuff?
merchant,
Who are you gonna buy stuff from later?
right? You've killed every merchant in the land.
Yeah, but if we
Uh,
punch things, candy comes out. So
Yeah,
It's true.
it's
Thank you,
true.
Mario.
Ding, ding, ding. Right.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. But it's super fun. And I think it'll be super fun for them to experience the gnolls. So in the game, all the characters are members of the Stormcrest ship, and currently they've encountered what I call the Sea Dogs, which are my gnoll pirates. And this is going to be part of that story arc. Is these gnolls are going to be on an island within the Pirate Isles that has a inner island savanna where they all that's where the Gnoll Kingdom is,
Mhm.
and the Sea Dogs are there, and the War Seeker is going to be created by the god of the gnolls. Will basically imbue this chieftain or war chief with a spark of their essence, making them kind of like a low-level avatar to the god of the gnolls, and send them out to raid the the shoreline villages and small towns and stuff, in the world that we play in, and the party has to eliminate the threat of the Sea Dogs and the War Seeker. And so they're questing right now to find a few magic items to help them defeat a potential avatar.
They
Pretty
sound
cool.
like some mangy mutts.
They are. Well, just think hyenas that are bipedal and only understand, MDK.
That's great. No, that's a fun thing. Hoplite Heroes.
Yeah. So for anybody watching, we got quite a few. Do you guys have any programs like that at your local game store? If so, we'd love to hear about that as well. Because we'd shout it out for sure. You're like, hey, if you're in the Dallas area, go check out Madness Comics and Games.
Milwaukee.
I don't know Milwaukee stores off the top of my head, but yes,
I didn't know it was going to be a call and repeat. That's
I was like going, dang it, is he calling me out on my store knowledge?
your knowledge is low.
Just for Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But like for Madison, you could go to Noble Knight.
Oh, that's where those guys are.
Yeah,
Those guys are kind of a big shop, yeah. They
yeah,
pop up on the Googles.
they
You're looking
do.
stuff up. Where's the miniature market out of? Are they Las Vegas?
That's in St. Louis, Missouri.
Really?
Yeah, they have 2 stores there.
Interesting. They got a large warehouse as well?
They do.
Okay.
Attached to one of the stores. A very large warehouse that you could probably get lost in if you didn't work there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Almost like a Manticore's cave.
Yes. A cave of wonders. Walk only to the item you seek. Touch anything else. And danger you'll reap.
Stop that rhyming on and I mean it.
Anybody want to beef?
Love it.
Heck yeah. Nice. Yeah, so what was that?
Oh, I've got some younger kids that I work with that haven't yet seen Princess Bride, and
They have got to be young.
I know, and I'm about to make this mandatory. This is going to be part of your review. You got to watch the Princess Bride.
Nice.
Well, I just brought the sun out.
Ooh. Well, they can always come to Hoplite Games on Thursday and paint for paint night, and we'll put Princess Bride on the TV.
Hey,
We've done it many times. It's a frequently requested movie.
the book is excellent. Also,
What? Ain't nobody ever learned nothing from words.
Yeah, speaking of words, D&D is tons of words, tons of math. It's like very educational. I found that there's a lot of like D&D clubs at schools now.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Hellfire, and like Stranger Things like that. But like legit, there's math teachers are using it to train people. I know a guy that's like a 3rd grade teacher, and he uses it in his like course studies and stuff like that. So pretty cool.
That is super cool. We actually had a local middle school's gaming club come to the store just last Thursday and participated in a miniature painting event. They came out, they got the paint, everybody got a free miniature, and they got to paint it and learn about the basics of painting miniatures and the etiquette of miniature painting, which was really nice.
What was the etiquette? Don't splash your paint on people. Shake your tubes of paint.
Yeah, etiquette being like, don't leave the brushes in the water. Put if you're between brushes and you want it to dry, place it on top of the cup or just lay it on the side or whatever. Because if you leave it in, it's gonna damage
the bristles.
brushes. Yeah, stuff like that.
Stuff that you learn the hard way in real life, right? You gotta go buy like more things.
Yeah. But also teaching them, that when you're painting with a group of people, it's okay to ask the others, like, can you pass me something? Don't just grab something from somebody, teaching them, what was it? I'm trying to remember all the other stuff. Anyways, teaching them the etiquette of, you don't have to pour out half the bottle for a miniature that's only going to take a couple drops, right?
I'm still learning that, but yeah.
Me too. I mean, look at how much purple I have on this plate. It's ridiculous.
Sometimes that paint just wants to be free.
It does, especially when it's the first time being used. It just wants to escape the bottle, like that Nuclear Sunrise.
We'll never forget that.
Episode 1, the explosion, the nuclear explosion. Nuclear Sunrise.
So we're on episode 14 here of season 3.
Season 3.
It's crazy.
At 2 hours a pop. I think we've gotten a little bit better at painting between the 3 of us.
Yeah, you guys are already great. I'm always the one that's like, right now, people are definitely enjoying the base here, Steamforge Games.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good job.
Oh,
Look who made this.
Yep.
yeah, we're gonna take that overhead cam away from you. Why do you get one? Come on here.
Right. Right.
So
We
that
took
arena
one,
that you
it
send
was
the
just
kids
crazy.
Oh, well, that arena that you send the kids to, does it have a name?
Oh, it's just the arena. That's all. It doesn't have a name. Maybe I should come up with a name for it. Maybe we should have the community watching this give us a name for an arena in which the players, the kids can pit their players against each other for the betterment of understanding their characters' abilities. You know,
Yeah, Arena of Blood is too easy. That's
I know, right?
yeah,
And some moms don't like it, right?
I say
What's
Oh,
the X-Men's arena? What's the X-Men's arena called?
the Danger Room.
the danger
Oh,
room. Yeah, yeah.
This is like a 1950s comic show. Like, what's that? What's that danger room? And you guys, it's calling repeats.
What? Up next in the danger room, we've got Cyclops versus Iceman. Will Bobby Drake be able to defeat his team leader? Stay tuned.
I'm glad they did show it in X-Men. I have not finished it yet, but X-Men '97 they did show the danger room only once, I think, right?
I think it was with Jubilee and Sunspot.
Yeah. And then there's always Wolverine's always in there like, I smell you, or something weird. He always comes in. He's like, actually going to hurt you. Gambit throwing his cards. Yeah.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Gambit. R.I.P.
I didn't see it. Stop it.
Oh, then you haven't even really been watching it.
I just told you I didn't finish it.
Yeah, but we're many episodes past that one already.
Yeah. I mean, everybody dies, right? So.
All right.
Not Phoenix. That's the whole thing.
Right. Phoenix is a great character, though.
Yes.
I think it was one of the better ones that they kind of created with the X-Men story arcs, is that there's always the potential that the Phoenix Force could come and take possession of Jean Grey, and which is super cool. Making an already super powerful mutant even more so.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. I love it. Okay, so what is the thing that you two are most looking forward to this summer? Because summer's coming quick. It'll be here so soon.
Will?
Well, I got a family trip set up. We're going to go out to Chicago and do the City Pass.
Okay,
We did that.
What does that mean?
It's a pass that gets you access to all the museums, the aquarium, and there's so many good museums out in Chicago.
Field Museum, Children's Museum, Shed Museum. They got that
Science
one.
and Industry Museum.
Yeah, Navy Pier. They got the Children's Museum there as well, and that giant Ferris wheel.
Yeah. So we'll be heading out there. We did that once a few years back, and it was a great trip. The kids really enjoyed it.
Nice.
There's a hotel that's right across the street from the main fountain in Chicago. And the hotel's called the Congress, and it's been around for a very long time. It might predate the fire.
Wow. Is that right there by the Bean?
It's pretty close. I think it's within walking distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
cool.
it's like across the street from most of the museums.
All right.
And it's or you can just hop on the bus right there and get to the only one that was not within walking distance was the Science and Industry Museum.
Oh.
But the bus is right there, so you can just ride right over to it. So it's really centrally located, and it's one thing I love too is when you go out and you walk down the road. It's the road that the Blues Brothers chase scene occurred on.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, so that's
sorry.
What's up, bud?
The Blues Brothers.
That's the movie. That's the song from the movie, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, was it?
I don't think
We
I can
need a
carry a good enough
soundboard
team to
you
help
know?
out.
Who's the guy from Police Academy? Winslow. Remember?
The one that could do the sound effects?
Yeah. What was his name?
I don't know. I don't remember. You're really throwing it back because
We'll
funny
find out.
story. Funny story. They're doing a remake of Police Academy, I believe.
I feel like Police Academy should sponsor this show. The show is now sponsored by Police Academy.
That's right.
I love me some Police Academy.
Yeah, Michael Winslow.
Michael Winslow. Yeah, we need
Okay.
a soundboard because I can't be the Michael Winslow of this show. Is what I was getting at.
Oh,
Now I'm out of a job. Damn.
dang it.
Get out of here.
Michael Winslow. Was that his
Michael
character
Winslow,
name
yeah.
or his actor name?
That's the actor's name. The
Okay.
character. I just
He had
had
like a single name, I think, like Jukebox or something. That's not it.
No, I don't think that was it.
While you look, I'm gonna go wash this giant brush.
It was Larvell Jones. Was his name?
Larvell.
Larvell,
name.
all right.
That's a great name. Nice.
I loved him in Spaceballs, of course. I mean,
Of
who didn't?
course. God, such a good movie. Such a good movie.
The Peeps, the Sweeps, and the Creeps.
With the whole radar thing. So good. All right. So this purple is really fun and vibrant. Okay. The
Yeah, that's
I'm
nice.
digging it. Yeah, I'm digging it. How's the bones coming on those undeads?
There's a lot of bones. A lot of them are covered up by clothes, so there's a bit of picking out
What?
that I gotta do in here. Yeah,
Undead wearing clothes? How dare they?
those guys and their fashion sense.
Right?
One of these guys has got to have the name Mr. Bones.
Mr. Bones.
Mr. Bones. This guy is Mr. Bones.
Nice.
So do you have any other, like, if there's not a name for the arena, how about, are there any locations that you ever went to that had a name that was just unforgettable and perfect for the setting?
I mean, Waterdeep has the Yawning Portal, which is a great
Oh, dang.
name for a tavern / entrance into Undermountain, right? That's always been a cool one. I can't remember. There was a name, I believe, for the arena in the Dragonlance series when Raceland and Cameron go back in time, and Cameron ends up being like a Spartacus-like gladiator at this arena. And I feel like there was a name for that arena, but it escapes me. If anybody
Yawning
remembers, what about it?
Right here. I just pulled it off. I
What?
purchased it
Nice.
when it was. Do you remember Amazon had these crazy sales on these books a while ago?
I do not, and I don't. I really don't, because we sell those here at Hoplite Games, and every other FLGS in the United States probably sells them too.
They don't. They're back MSRP, but there was a time.
There was a time. All right. If you need to pick up your amazing books, go to your friendly local game store.
There is I see something here that says the School of the Games, or the Isteron Arena, or the Arena of the Games.
Isteron Arena. I'm almost certain that was it. The Isteron Arena.
It just rolls right off your tongue.
It kind of does. Isteron.
Yeah.
Sounds like it could be a song.
But well, you being a musician, I feel like everything has that potential for you. You know?
Maybe. Sounds like something from ABBA or something, though. You know, like that's
From
not the music
ABBA?
I really enjoy. Yeah.
You like ABBA?
They're cranking out the hits. I appreciate ABBA. I don't love ABBA. I did watch Mamma Mia recently. They take the songs of ABBA. And I was like, how am I watching this whole movie? My wife was putting it on. And,
I enjoyed Mamma Mia. Mamma
I got
Mia
caught
2,
in-
not so much.
No, Mamma Mia too terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. But yeah, as far as musicals go, it was entertaining.
Okay.
I had a bit of a surprise with movies over the weekend myself. I was painting on Sunday.
Okay.
I fired up Matrix Resurrections, and I had
That's
very
three?
low expectations. Well, that's the fourth one.
Oh,
Oh, is that the one where the female character gets the powers, right?
Trinity, yeah.
Yeah, Trinity.
Yeah, I had really low expectations, and to be 100% honest with you, I was a Matrix super fan. I freaking loved the first movie a little too much, and then the second one came out, and it was okay.
Okay.
And then the third one came out, and I was disappointed. And
the first one was so good.
It was so good.
The first one was just so good, the character development, but it really opened it up. The second one was just an action movie, and it didn't really get into that grit,
And I was a huge video game player for a long time. The Enter the Matrix, the hype was real for it for me, and I shouldn't believe the hype, because after I played through that game, I used the instruction manual as toilet paper, and I ran over the game with my car.
Wow, that's pretty.
It was
that's
really
crazy.
Really bad. Yeah.
So
my expectations were really low.
Sure, but when you tell me that when you watched the first Matrix, you were a super fan to almost a disturbing degree, makes me wonder, how long did you dress like Neo?
He's still dressing like Neo.
Yeah. Perhaps I still am. I had a black trench coat, man. I was seriously
nice.
This is before we started
James borrow it. What's that?
I say this is before we started hanging out.
Yes.
Disclaimer.
Yeah. I let James borrow it for a Halloween costume many years. I mean, I stopped wearing it a while back, but probably after the third Matrix movie. But I was the trench coat kid from.
That's amazing. From Grandma's Boy.
No, from high school, but
also Grandma's Boy. But also Grandma's Boy.
Yeah, might as well have been.
That's amazing. I would not have guessed that would have been something that you found yourself super fanning over.
I love because the mixture of action movie and philosophy was a real big hook.
Okay.
And the disappointment in the third one in the game, just like they lost me. But in the fourth one, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it put a nice little capstone on the series. I was happy with it.
All
but
right.
the real gift was the song at the end. In the first two Matrix movies, they had a Rage Against the Machine song as the main to go into the credits, which my favorite band. And this one, they had a cover band called Brass Against, which is a cover band that does that adds a brass section to a lot of songs, and has a sassy lady from Detroit as their lead vocalist. And they if you go through their 5 albums worth of songs, it's basically all of my favorite songs, like curated. Cult of Personality by Living Colour, like just all sorts of weird ones that are in there. And a whole lot of Rage Against the Machine, and they're wonderful. It was just like getting a present. I was delivered this band on a whim out of nowhere. It was wonderful.
That's great. Did you know about the band before it snuck up on you in the movie? Or
No, it's total surprise.
So you've since done a deep dive on the band itself.
Yeah, I heard the song at the end of the show, and I'm like, whoa, hold up, who's singing my song here? And why is she so good at it? And why do they have a brass section?
That's awesome. So, Mark, you didn't tell us what you're looking forward to for the summer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about me. I living here in Michigan, we have some cold winters, but we have some beautiful summers. So we've got 4 of the Great Lakes of the 5 that touch Michigan, and so Lake Michigan's awesome. Memorial Weekend's coming up, and so I'm gonna go out to Tawas Point State Park with my wife and Paige. She's 2 now, and so
nice.
Yeah, just like getting out there, and I don't know. I like camping and hiking and stuff like that. It's a little more difficult with a little baby, little toddler now, I guess. But yeah, that's good times once it starts
Okay.
warming up like that.
Very nice.
How about you, Rick?
I am going to be going to my youngest son's graduation next month,
Oh
which
wow,
I'm really excited for. And then for me, my summers are going to be summer camps for the Hoplite Heroes program for the kids to come in like Monday through Friday and do some summer camp stuff in June and July, and maybe even one in August. And then conventions. We got some conventions that are going to be hits during that time as well.
that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
For those that don't know, Rick is working 24/7.
it seems like it sometimes.
You're the hardest working man in game hobby.
I don't think so. I do not think so. And I
No,
think there's a lot of people that would say, no, that's not right.
work pretty hard.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things that people don't see, right? But others do. So I appreciate that. All right. I've got some skulls on his shoulders. I feel like this particular model, I may have to order some skulls because there's just not enough.
Dude needs some skulls.
He needs more skulls, all right? Because
More
skulls
cowbell,
are
more skull.
so good. So I'm going to use some Dorado skin from the Army Painter War Paints Fanatic. It kind of has a cool bony look to it. I think that's the only one that really fits that bill right off the bat here. Yeah. So we'll use that.
I feel like a good ivory or a good bone color should be in every kind of painting starter set.
Ah,
Every model's going to have bones somewhere, just about. There's
yeah,
skulls
especially
all
in
over.
this hobby. Yeah, especially in this hobby for sure. I actually feel like all the models from this box deserve all of the skulls, just all of them. So we're gonna go ahead and Dorado skin it. And while we do that, let's give a big shout out to Army Painter as our exclusive paint sponsor for Path of the Brush. We appreciate their support, and if you have the inclination to do so, go follow them on their socials, especially their YouTube channel, where they do all sorts of cool content in regards to painting. They have a bunch of great, amazing in-house painters, and they have some really cool high produced content around the hobby of painting. So
We did a show. Was it season 1 with the guy who did Army Painter, who put it together?
he didn't do Army Painter or put it together. He's the American representative. They are they're a company out of Europe, Sorry, I'm having a
EU?
little bit of brain fog. My brush is flaying out for some reason, and it's giving me a little disheartening. But yeah, they're not from the States. They are out of Europe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to rewatch that one. Is the trick he did for that horse fur?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be painting a lot of horsies again, and I really liked how that looked.
Yeah. We're probably going to have him and Kat on. Kat is another employee of the Army Painter, but she's an industry staple in regards to miniature painting. We'll probably have them on again. But I'm really hoping that we can get Peter Atkinson on here for an episode.
Lovely.
I'm hoping maybe just before Gen Con, so we can talk about things one might expect to see this year at that wonderful event. So
build some hype that's worth getting hype for.
Agreed. But next month we're going to we'll be building some hype around another fun event here on Path of the Brush. The hype will be super real.
Is it
June.
going to be the grand opening or
Uh,
reopening?
it's the same day, but it's a holiday for all gamers.
Right.
Free RPG Day. So we'll be hyping up Free RPG Day this year, pretty heavy, and so we'll talk about some of the modules and other cool stuff one can find at their friendly local game store. So if you participate as a store and you're watching us, let us know so we can shout you out for your local viewers to go participate at your store. And also check out freerpgday.com for all the cool information around it. All right. Yeah, there's only like 7 skulls. I feel like there needs to be at least 30 more. Right.
That guy would have a lot more trophies.
I agree. If not trophies, just piles of skulls at his feet. Right. This seems right. Right.
My Manticore is still drying.
Okay.
So I've moved on to something else. Little Conquest guys, little uggers.
Uh-oh.
So I'm getting some base on these guys using some ultramarine blue.
Okay.
Their skin's kind of blue.
Yeah.
Kind of like what would that be? Kind of Ice Giant-esque, but ogre style. Instead of green, they're blue in this Aya world, right?
Okay. Very cool. I don't know about you guys watching right now, but if you're on the Twitch channel, Twitch page watching this, you know how on the very bottom underneath the comments there's this little thing for channel points. How many channel points do you guys have? Right? I have 20,386 for Gen Con TV.
You got me licked. I have 7.9 thousand.
Yeah. I feel like I need to see what the channel points we can do with those. Highlight my message, unlock a random thing, choose an emote or modify a single emote. Oh, okay. I think we need to get that to do other fun stuff. Like they could spend channel points to make it so we have to paint with our offhand.
Ooh.
Right?
That would be fun.
Hold your, yeah. It's not fun. I'm doing it right now. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it makes it a little more challenging, right?
Right. I feel like I'm painting at your level now, Rick.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
For 3 feet away.
3 feet away, baby.
2 feet away. I thought you enhanced that.
I haven't taken the class yet. I can't find
Oh.
the individual who will teach me how to paint for 2 feet away. I seek a master who can teach this Padawan learner the ways of the 2-foot brush technique.
Who suggested that? Was that Jerk Wellington?
You mean
The
Jeff?
third? Oh, was that Jeff?
Yeah.
That does sound like a Jeff statement.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying out this leather brown for the Fanatic, which is
Nice.
a not like, it's a pretty straightforward color name, honestly. It's not like belligerent gargoyle brown.
I think they're all straightforward, right? You've got rainforest, right?
I'm not looking at the screen. I have no idea what color rainforest would be.
No,
green maybe.
Green, yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hydra turquoise.
That's evocative.
Marine mist.
Well, a nice sea green.
Yep, a nice sea green. Yeah,
Ooh.
Very much so. I'm trying to find. It's not in the this particular box of paints that I have, but murder scene.
Murder scene.
We all know what that looks like. Murder scene.
Should have alternate heavy metal names.
Right? Alternate heavy metal names like Malenko's Majestic Mauve.
I was like, add another M. Add another M.
I'm all about alliteration. You know this.
Mm.
It makes things easier. I don't know. Perhaps.
Well,
So we were
growing up with Marvel Comics, alliteration is just kind of hammered into you with all the
Exactly.
character names.
For sure. Yeah. Sue Richards, Jennifer Banner. Who are some other ones?
The worst.
Was Sue Storm to start with, you know.
It is Sue Storm. And Johnny Storm. Reed Richards, Peter Parker, Bruce Banner. Yeah.
Remy LeBeau.
What's Cyclops'
Scott Summers.
Scott Summers? So good.
He ruined it for me. I actually never really like picked up on it. Like, I mean, I have, but I never like. I don't know. Once you say it out loud, it's like good googly man.
Yeah. So good. So I'm using some ash gray on this axe, these blade parts here. And then that's
How you
another thing
like
too. How you like me now? I think it's pretty cool. Again, it's so smooth to go on, but I don't want to like put it over every little piece. I kind of want it to be very like, I don't know if you can tell, it kind of looks kind of scraggly, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word.
Scraggly.
Because I already put like this weird gunmetal-esque underneath it as a base, and now I'm just kind of going over that with this ash gray, and then I'm going to do a wash and then do some silver on the edges. But then I want to throw some rust effect, because this creature's weapon is not made to be like clean, you know?
No.
Amongst the problems that guy brings to your table, tetanus would be another one.
I like the idea of tetanus being a big issue with this guy, right? This seems right.
Yeah.
That's no good. Are you up to date on your tetanus shot?
Yeah.
I am, yeah.
Yeah, you got to be.
I mean, sure, I guess I got
No one brought up that was their top thing of summer. What's your favorite thing? Tetanus.
tetanus, chiggers,
Oh man,
and ticks.
those get under your skin. That's for sure, man.
They sure do, man.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did.
Yeah, that's gross. I didn't know people actually got those. I heard of some folks that were in the army and whatever. They got them crawling around her, and then there was a friend was staying at a terrible like low dollar, I won't name names, hotel, and outside of a big city, and came back with scabies.
Bed bugs, scabies. Oof.
Under the skin, micro.
Oh.
Yeah. Burrowing under there.
It was like, so hey, spend the extra $10, $20, get a nice hotel.
Yeah. They had a Holiday Inn Express.
Don't be stay on site at Gen Con. Thank you, Peter. You don't want to.
For sure.
You don't want to be in that situation.
Right. So good. Yeah. I always, feel like Lyme's disease, though it's spelled differently, should have been a disease where you like go from no scurvy to instant scurvy, and you need to suck on limes, right? But then because you have Lyme's disease, you now have an allergy to limes and vitamin C, so you're just going to get super scurvy.
Double scurvy.
Yeah, double scurvy.
Those salty sea dogs of yours probably got the double scurvy in your your
Oh,
campaign.
for sure, for sure. They give scurvy and rabies.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't like it.
what's funny is I'm currently rewatching a series about pirates right now. I'm on season 3 or 4. I can't remember the exact season I'm on. I feel like I'm on season 4, which I believe is the final season of Black Sails.
Okay.
And man, it is so good, and it refreshes my memory about like a lot of the terminology of seafaring things. Talking about the different ships' masts and yard arms and the different type of sails that are attached to each section of the mast. Because I like to throw those kind of terminologies at the players when we're playing to see what they do, right?
Hmm.
A lot of times they just are like,
Uh-huh.
okay,
Yeah, I mean,
do.
pirate movies other than Pirates of the Caribbean. First
Yeah.
one real good. Other ones, second
Yeah.
one's good too. But they're not as prevalent as they,
Sure.
like I feel like, there was more pirate movies back in the day. Now I'm trying to think of what pirate movies.
Yeah. I'm
Nate
sitting
and
going,
Hayes. Remember Nate and Hayes with Tommy Lee Jones?
nope.
Oh, you should go watch it. You would love that.
Okay. What's it called again?
It's called Nate and Hayes. I don't know if it
Nate
was a
and
made for TV movie, but
Okay.
it's got Tommy Lee Jones and it's
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like a good pirate movie, pirate show. Master and Commander was a great naval series movie with uh, what's his name from
Gladiator.
Russell Crowe. Yeah,
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
yeah. And then another good one is Horatio Hornblower, which was like a series that took place back during colonial um, America when the pirate scene was kind of a big deal.
That's starring Horatio Sands, right, from SNL.
I mean, I wish it probably lend itself to more comedy.
Just kidding. That's not true. Fallacy, number 45 of episode season 3, episode 14.
The fallacies of the seafaring shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would Swiss Family Robinson count?
I would say part of it would. And plus the pirates that come to the island that they have to deal with for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of
Any-
falls flat in parts of it, though. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're over the age of 12, yeah.
And then any movie that focuses on Blackbeard, right? I think there was a series dedicated to just Blackbeard, which is pretty cool.
were there
Oh.
any comic runs that were specifically pirates?
No, but there was an amazing cartoon, The Pirates of Darkwater.
I love Pirates of Darkwater.
Me too.
They didn't finish the series, right?
They did not.
Oh,
There was 13 Treasures of Rule, and they only found 8. Was it? I gotta look it up.
does Farscape count as a pirate show? Because they weren't good sailors, really.
Oh, my camera died.
Oh no.
Oh, don't worry, we'll keep it alive with some Pirates of Dark Water talk. The Pirates of Dark Water is an American fantasy animated television series created by David Kirshner and produced by Hanna-Barbera. The series premiered as a 5-part miniseries on Fox Kids early 1991, simply entitled Dark Water. The first season consisted of 13 episodes, including the original 5-part miniseries aired on ABC from September to December 1991. A second season consisted of just 8 episodes, aired in syndication in the United States from 92 to 93.
That's
That's
crazy.
what happens when Rick's camera goes. I start doing
Yeah, my
Oh,
audio,
yeah.
my audio still works though, right?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. I like it better this way. I don't have to see it. Just
Oh,
kidding.
dang!
Dang, shots fired.
Why
know.
are you so mean to me, man? All right.
Trying to make you feel- that's not good etiquette. Not good painting etiquette.
All right,
See,
I'm
I'm going back to
I'm
the previous.
gonna jump out, come back into the backstage,
Okay.
and see if it'll reboot it there.
I was asking Rick earlier if there was any like locations from any campaigns, like the name of it just rung out and like stuck with him for a long time. And I don't think you heard the question. Or any locations from any kind of fantasy, really, that like, dang, that's an evocative name.
Like from a D&D campaign specifically?
I mean, whatever, right? It doesn't have to specifically be that, but just like good names for locations.
Locations. Can't think of names, but the Underdark
The Underdark.
doesn't get much darker than that.
That's not just dark. It's Underdark.
Yeah.
I was always fond of I learned about it from the game NetHack, but I was always fond of Gehenna, which is an early version of Hades, or a different version of Hades, really.
Uh-huh.
Hey, there he is.
Hola.
See what Will did there? He had a really good one in his back pocket. He said,
did.
"Hey, do you have a good location?" And as I scrambled to say something stupid like the Underdark, he goes, "You know what's a good one?"
Oh, I heard the Underdark. I heard that whole conversation.
and he lambastes it. No, that's good.
Yeah.
I do like when they get into some deep mythological lore.
Like,
I mean,
Nivel, I don't even know how to say it. Nivellir? I don't know.
Oh,
How do you say it from where the dwarves are from Norse mythology? Nivellir?
a Nimblevetter.
Nivellir or something like that.
Yeah, Norse dwarf realm. We got
you have more
Nidavellir.
What?
Nidavellir. Yeah.
I'm getting schooled on this one. I don't have that in my Rolodex.
Oh, it's one of the realms, Nidavellir.
Nidavellir.
Nidavellir. There we go. Yeah. I was trying to find the pronunciation. I just had the spelling.
Got to listen to the Google. Like, oh, it's Nidavellir. Yeah.
Nidavellir is the home of the dwarves or black elves. Like,
Ooh,
they're the
okay.
same guys? Are they the same guys?
Like the Dark
No.
Elves?
The dark
Like
elves?
Rose?
No, like the evil elves from Thor, right? Like we're in
Yeah.
Thor
yeah.
2. I didn't know that they were from that same realm.
Nidavellir is derived from the Old Norse word nid, meaning new moon, when the moon was just starting to wax, and velir, meaning fields. Thus, fields of the new moon, or the fields of darkness.
Ooh,
Dope.
We just
dang, that
waxed
is dope.
static about that.
That is
That's-
metal.
That's super metal. Heck yeah. Nidavellir.
Also
We should start a
known
metal
as,
band.
it was also known as Svartalheim, named derived from the Old Norse Svart, meaning black, elf, meaning elf, and Heimer, meaning home. Home of the black elves.
Nice. Okay.
At some point, this is all pulling out of Poetic Edda. At some point, I have got to read that whole thing because that's just so full of fun words and deep lore.
Heck yeah.
Deep down the rabbit hole. I love it. Speaking of the Matrix and going down the rabbit hole, Will, you are Neo.
Okay.
Just because you went down the rabbit hole.
All right.
Which pill? You're just taking it. You're like, yep.
Okay.
What pill does he take? Is it the red or the blue one?
He takes the red pill.
Let's see how far the rabbit hole goes, huh?
Yes, he takes the red pill. There's some interesting juxtaposition in Matrix Resurrections with the character portraying Morpheus and the character portraying Smith. Morpheus being dressed all in red and Smith being dressed all in blue.
Ooh. Okay.
Kind of representing the choices that Neo still has in front of him. There's some good directing that happened in that movie. I will give them props.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
I'll have to rewatch that.
Well, this is specifically from the fourth one, Matrix Resurrections.
Yeah.
All right. There's so many bits and bobs on these models. They're so well sculpted.
Oh,
Lots
My
of
guy's
fun
almost
little places
dry.
to get into.
I mean, like the one you're working on there, Mark, has, I'm sure it may not have a lot of bits and bobs, but it's got some detail to it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got some doodads. Yeah. Not to. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's got some deep crevasses.
Does it have greeblies?
Relief?
No, greeblies.
What are greeblies?
That
What
was
is
a
this
term.
word?
It was a term that was invented after the movie E.T. because it's the word Spielberg backwards, and it was all the little hanging down technical bits that were on the spaceship. And then anytime they add those little like random little doodads like you see on the Death Star and the Trench Run, or on other spaceships in the sci-fi from that era, those were greeblies.
Okay.
Greeblies.
The more you know. All right. That's super cool.
Will, I feel like you should write a book called Nerdtopia, and like that's patented, trademark, the copyright via this. But no, that'd be amazing. For some like cool deep cut trivia, because like you pull out stuff, man, that I just love.
I like learning things.
It is fun. That's what's cool about RPGs in general. You kind of have to like learn about the monsters and like pulling up the monster manual that I bought at a local game store, right?
Very specifically.
You know.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at some of these bits and bops here. See if you can see some of the Spielberg.
Oh yeah.
It's all real black right now, but I'm gonna
It's got
go
a
at
lot
it
of
with.
texture.
It does have a lot of texture, which that'll look neat on a dry brush. So I'm gonna start doing that now.
Right now.
I'm trying to remember all the colors that I used when I was painting Archaon's wings, because that came out really well.
Nice. Have you ever painted with the color of the wind?
What is that? Is that a song? Is that a limerick? Is that a limerick?
It's a song from Pocahontas, the animated series or movie. From
You're right.
Disney.
That did sound familiar. Isn't Mel Gibson John Smith?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Really? Man, I thought it was that dude who broke free from his bondage in an era of savagery, sorcery, and super science.
So one would think that, because there's a lot of similarities between the time of the tragedy of 1994. And for everybody listening, you may not know this, but in 1994 there was a tragedy. Apparently, from outer space, a runaway planet collided between the Earth and the Moon, and in doing so, unleashed cosmic destruction, which is crazy because it decimated, it destroyed mankind's civilization. But thankfully, 2,000 years later, or the Hadron Collider did its job and jumped us from realities. And but 2,000 years later, in that timeline, a strange new world is born, a world of savagery, sorcery, and super science, where one man would break his bonds to fight for justice with his companions Ukla and Princess Ariel, who the story is really about, and pitting his strength and courage and his fabulous son's sword against the forces of evil. He is, and always will be, Thundar the Barbarian, who we should give many thanks to, because Thundar is obviously the savior of humanity.
Thank goodness.
With such words as
it's Thundar O'Clock.
It is. We were about 15 minutes late on Thundar O'Clock, but that's okay. It's always Thundar O'Clock. I think it's funny that we do this every episode.
We had such a good segue earlier with Hanna-Barbera. I was ready to jump on it, but
Man.
we got lost in the weeds a little bit.
So for those of you watching, Thundar the Barbarian is one of those IPs that if I were given the opportunity, I would want to make an expanded world for a role-playing game based around Thundar the Barbarian, where Thundar isn't, you can't play Thundar, but you could play an Ukla or a Mach, I'm sorry, which Ukla was, and you could play, just a normal human or another kind of warrior type character, and there could be others that may have some magical or sciencey inclinations, but it would just be, you're adventuring in the world of Thundar, and every once in a while you may come across Thundar who could help you and guide you in certain ways, or just get you in a lot of trouble, because that's what he tends to do, because he is got a low intelligence score.
So for those of us who never saw the show, was there a big bad?
There was. It was Ariel's father, actually.
Okay.
Yep. And if you watch the cartoon, he's got this. His head changes. He's got this mask that flips, and he can be like this benevolent being who's all about science and the betterment of humanity. And then his head turns, and the shield thing flips, and then it's this like evil, maniacal being.
Her dad was the mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, kind of.
He's
Hey, T-Cat, how you doing? They would run on Cartoon Network.
I believe they would. Hey, T-Cat. And they should do like Boomerang and bring back some of the older cartoons and bring back Thundar, because they've done relaunches of He-Man twice now, maybe even 3 times, and Thundercats has gotten a reskin, relook. Why can't Thundar?
Oh wait, Thundercats got a reskin?
Yeah, they did a Thundercats animated series that was, the art was different in that the bodies were, I don't know how to explain it. It was just a different art style, and it was fine. The story was fine. Everything was fine, but it was just a different vibe. Right. And it just didn't like appeal to me artistically. But I'm a fan of the Thundercats, so I absolutely watched all of it, and the story was well written. So
is it more of an anime style, would you say?
Yeah.
Just like slightly, maybe.
Yeah, slightly. Evening. I'm doing well. Hope you all are too. We are, T-Cat. Where are you from? If you're privy to throw that intel on there,
T-Cat?
Where are you from? Tell us your story. What is your favorite game? Are you painting the miniatures? All the good things.
The miniature paint? Yeah.
Yes. Do you like to paint all of the miniatures? Because we do.
I have to find out where I can stream that Thundercat. So my wife's Savannah, Georgia. Oh man,
nice.
Well,
that is a beautiful area.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, Savannah's beautiful.
My wife is a huge fan of Thundercats. I'm pretty sure the little girl that still lives inside of my wife still has a crush on Lion-O.
Yeah. Why would we not? I mean, what? Lion-O's, the voice actor who did Lion-O was amazing.
Oh, now I gotta look him up.
I always like when you do Thundar the Barbarian. I always do the Lion-O, and you guys make fun of me because Thundercats, raw.
Because it's not right.
Yeah, but it is to me, because Thundercats was a special one. I love that. The animation style was great.
Agreed.
Of the action figures, I've told you I have a weird meandry of action figures that were like a Chuck Norris, one Lion-O, one Leonardo Ninja Turtle, one He-Man, and then the regular, like the smaller G.I. Joes,
Right.
And so it was like, I never had the complete set of anything, but yeah, that Lion-O did some work. And he had that little ring thing that you could put with a battery in it. Do you remember this?
Yes.
It was like a ring that had a battery, and then you pushed it into his back, and his eyes glue.
Oh. That's interesting. I don't
Yeah,
remember that. But
TCAT does paint minis. Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like.
I would hope so. Or he's like, I'm watching the wrong thing here.
No, he's not. You can always just come here and hang out. This is
Yeah.
and chat
Great.
with us. We like to
Anytime.
chat.
We
Yeah,
mostly talk about movies anyway. So
yeah, movies and cartoons and such. But Lionel's voice, when he's like talking to like who's hey Panthro, can you help me with this? And Panthro's like, I don't know, Lionel. you know,
Panthers.
That guy did some work. He was a voice of Bluegrass and Silverhawks, if anybody remembers that.
he was the one that had the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a clever name for a guy with a guitar.
I know, right?
Old Bluegrass.
Old Bluegrass.
He came
sure.
back to voice a different character in the new Thundercats show in 2011.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Nice. And this is the guy who did Lionel.
Yeah, original Lionel.
Yeah.
His name was Larry Kenny.
Okay. Oh, Larry Kenny. Nice. He goes to a lot of conventions.
Does he?
Yeah.
He's done a lot of voice work in video games since then.
Okay.
The radio voice from LA Noire.
We were just talking about Noir last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah. It's a topical conversation.
Yeah.
Throwbacks even.
Heck yeah. And then you had Snarf. Snarf, Lionel.
That was kind of disappointing when I went to the Thundercats page and Snarf got top billing for the voices.
What?
It's like giving Orko top billing. Come on, guys.
Though Orko is also a great character in the new He-Man series that's on Netflix.
I was impressed. I didn't think that somebody could make me like Orko.
Mm-hmm.
He was the Scrappy Doo, right? Back in the day.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
Scrappy
definitely.
Doo of He-Man.
Yeah, he was absolutely the Scrappy Doo of He-Man.
I kind of feel like Scrappy Doo was the original Will Wheaton.
Oh, Jesus. Dang.
Like he goes uncredited for being the original Will Wheaton, that the developer really wanted you to like, right? But nobody did.
I mean,
poor Will Wheaton.
I think we don't mean Will Wheaton as the one with nobody likes.
No.
I think we mean Wesley Crusher.
Yeah, Wesley Crusher, honestly, yes.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Roddenberry really wanted people to like Wesley.
They did.
Yeah, even as a kid, you're like, what's
Shut
going
up,
on
Wesley.
here?
Jesus.
It's kind of like when you're like, what is that annoying thing that's happening? And there's like a really bad song on the radio, but you can't put your finger on it. Like you're just starting to get angry. Like, why am I so angry? And you're like, oh, that piece of channel on the.
Hey, thanks, T-Cat. Is it T-Cattle?
T-Cat, yeah.
Yeah, T-Cat. Okay. Yeah, I dabble a little bit at just making fun of cartoon character voices. So, doing Snarf has always been a fun one. Doing Meatwad from Aqua Teen Hunger Force has been fun as well. I like doing that one. Yeah. But when Snarf is doing his thing, it's funny because he's always trying to look out for Lionel, who, though, if you don't know, when Lionel and them are going from their Thundera to Third Earth, they Lionel's a child who gets in some sort of like during the transport, his capsule gets damaged and he ages to an adult, but has a kid's basically understanding of the world, right? But he's full grown adult. And in the first episode, when he comes out of that container, you're like, Tatara's like, he's a well-developed, he's turned into a well-developed young man. He just went like, Tatara, settle down.
Lady, he's 9.
Right. And Snarf's like, we gotta,
Oh,
let it.
guitar. Oh,
It's like he's just like, well, we just gotta make sure you're like, you know, safe. Guitar, back up.
he is the scaredest of all the cats.
Oh, he's super hyper scared. But my favorite Thundercat was when they found the other survivors, and you had Bengali. Just because I love that name, Bengali.
That's a good one.
Yeah. It's like, dang, that's a cool name. And he was a really cool character too.
That's tickling some memory threads. Like,
It was, I want to say maybe third or fourth season of the original series of Thundercats when they introduced the other. I think it was like 3 or 4 new Thundercats. I think you had Linkso, Bengali, Pumara, something like that, and Pumira. Yeah, there's
excellent memory on there. Yeah, Pumira, Linkso, and they monitored the Lunatax Flying Fortress Sky Tomb.
Nice. Was it just those 3?
I think so.
Is Bengali
Jaga appears the Lino and reveals himself. Oh, so Jaga.
Well, Jaga is the spirit of his like mentor that is within or somehow attached to the Eye of Thundera.
Yeah, so it's Bengali, Pumira, and Linkso.
Okay.
And he wields the Hammer of Thundera.
Ooh, yeah, that's what it was. Because I like hammers. Hammers are cool.
Yeah, because there's all those nails everywhere.
Right? That need to be just, well, it's kind of like how it was stated in Thor, right? A hammer can build as well as destroy. Right?
Excellent memory.
So good.
P-Cat's hitting that knowledge too, saying the Lunatics were great villains. Now I got to look them up.
Oh, they were great villains. If I remember right, the Lunatics had a little bit of a piratey vibe.
This is definitely tickling those memory threads. Wow. Luna, of course, Amok. And they have that little crescent moon on their foreheads.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but even though those are great villains, you just can't beat Mumra, right?
Oh, yeah.
Ancient forces of evil transform this decayed form into Mumra, the ever-living. So good. And he had Mumut, the little bulldog.
Oh, yeah.
I just love it. This is
But
wait, he's a mummy. He's not cute enough. Let's give him a puppy.
Right.
the antithesis of the cat, right?
Right, absolutely.
All right, I dry brush this little guy. I can start showing you some of the details. Look at the deets on him. Oh.
So what's the deets, son?
So this is cool. I mean, sometimes,
that's a sick model.
Yeah, this is just cool across the board, and it's the wings of like all these holes in it. There's the back of it, and like, it's very, very well sculpted, and it doesn't look like, as you would think sometimes those a lower level, in a box might have like, I don't know, just a bad sculpt and maybe all like chunky polygon looking, it's like they quickly threw it together. And no, this is beautiful.
Yeah, they did a great job. I'd be curious if you want to take a second and look at the booklet that came in there with the Manticore. If you could tell us like what the highest CR rated version of it, what some of its powers are.
Let me crack this book. I'll pretend that I'm a lazy DM and oh no, the guys are coming over. It's 8:30. They'll be here at 9:30.
Is that how DMs sound? I don't think so.
I can't wait to get this. Do my best lion, Noah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get this campaign off the ground. Good thing I've been studying for 4 days.
Yes.
Thank you, Epic Encounters. He's got the Roar of the Dead. This is not what you asked for, but you're getting it.
Ooh,
He's got a Roar of the Dead. Target every character. Manticore behavior. A furious raised head. Eyes latticed with blood. Glaring at anyone who dare track it to its lair. GM tip, it says. So it's got a little GM tips in here real quick. This ability gives the Manticore the chance to intimidate the characters early and give it a chance to escape from an early ranged attack, which is probably, if anything, saving the campaign, saving the group.
Yeah, saving the players, not the Manticore. The Manticore could be like, I'm going to eat all of you.
They have a drop and drag. They got a Voice of the Dead, calling for aid, blowing a buffet, and a multi-attack. A wing warp, billowing, all sorts of stuff. Snow traps. Oh, man. All right, let's get to these numbers.
Yeah, they should have the highest version of it would be like near the back of the book.
Let's see. Manticore X series. There's Osiris. Hit points 161. Manticore Darius. Hit points 294.
Woo.
That's a lot.
That's the big boy right there.
If it was a side-scrolling video game, you'd be like shooting at it or slashing at it, and it would be like just running back and forth, and you would do nothing, and then you would hopefully have a game genie or something that would let you replay that, because I feel like 294 is tough. You would definitely need some serious magic items to get into that, right?
I feel like the Manticore would have to have after its third basic attack, it does this one thing and just flies straight across, so to dodge it at that moment. So it gives you these predetermined movements that you can hopefully use against it.
It had to telegraph some kind of big tail spike, right?
Stealth +9.
Oof.
Blind sight 30 feet. Dark vision 120 feet. Passive. Common languages though, so you could be talking your Elvish, and they wouldn't. Would Elvish be considered common? I think
no,
so, right?
Just
it
common
would not?
is common. No,
it would
common
just
is common. Yep.
In the common tongue.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it's got a strength 20, dex 16.
Ooh.
+3 in parentheses there. Con 20 +5. Intelligence 12 +1. Wisdom 12 +1. Yeah.
I think it's one of the things too that I enjoy when running games with the kids here is, a lot of times they feel like the creatures are just meant to, you fight it and kill it or hope to kill it, and they just think all bad guys are just stupid monsters. That the Manticore has an intelligence of 12, when the average intelligence of a character is 10 or 8 even in some regards, right? So that creature is not dumb. That creature is, and if it understands common and possibly could speak it, it can communicate its intentions or its disgruntledness towards the party for whatever they're doing, which is super fun and cool, and could escape and be a villain in a later event, which I always love, because then you're being hunted by a Manticore. Dang.
You could probably convince some barbarians to help him decorate his cave.
Well, he probably would, considering I think the box that is the minions box to that is that he is associated with some form of barbarian tribe. Which is super cool. So, TCAT, if you're still watching, what are some models that you're currently painting? We'd like to know what everybody's kind of working on there.
I love hearing about armies that people are putting together too. That's always once you finally get the whole army done, there's no feeling like it.
Right. The sense of completion in a game is amazing. All right. I feel like
Bowsette by Pair Force 1. Ooh. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Bowsette. Oh, Bowsette, as in the female version of Bowser.
Oh yeah, Bowsette. All right.
Yeah. By Pier Force One. Is that a 3D printed model that you've printed out, or nice? Okay,
Very cool.
very cool. Jinx.
Jinx, pinch poke, Yomi Coke.
All right. Very cool. Well, if you are so inclined to share your model with us, we do have a Discord over on Hoplite Games. If you go to Hoplite Games here or over on Facebook, one of the top comments is going to be a link to our Discord. We'd love for you to join us. We have a sub channel where we talk about miniature painting. Everybody shows off their works in progress and their completed miniatures. It's a lot of fun, and obviously you don't have to be a patron of the store to be a part of the community, and we would love to have you there. So join us. One of us.
I think I found the model. It's got a lot of layers on that. Like the dress has a lot of layers in it. That looks like a unique challenge getting in there.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm on my best behavior.
The Discord is for the greater good. So
the greater good.
Very cool. All right, so I'm using dark brown now from Fanatic on the tree trunk. That is the handle and heft of this deadly tetanus-ridden axe the Warseeker uses. It's very nice.
So how does one get the super scurvy Lyme disease?
Oh, they've got, I think, they got to get bitten by one of these, which is like a dire hydra or dire hyena.
How would these guys laugh if they were,
Oh, the dire hyena?
Yeah, how would these guys laugh?
I have a feeling that it wouldn't be like your typical hyena that has kind of a high pitch, right? It'd be like, hey, what's up?
I was thinking like something iconic, like Eddie Murphy's laugh or something.
No, that would be great.
You kill me.
That is an iconic laugh too.
Eddie Murphy is definitely one of the greats,
For sure. Yeah, for sure. The time frame of our show right now has kind of put me on the thought that we should probably shout out our sponsors.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Look at that. We're just having so much fun.
Agreed. So big shout out to the Army Painter, our exclusive paint partner and partner in paint and play is big shout out to them. So go give the Army Painter a follow on all their socials if you are so inclined to, or whatever is your preferred social platform, so you don't miss out on any cool announcements that they might have. Also, big shout out to Game Envy, the makers of the hobby handle, and our Phalanx brushes here, our Phalanx synth brushes that I use here, and the water cup that I use here. It's a collapsible mobile water cup. Super cool. That's right. Mark uses the Phalanxes as well. And then big shout out to Gen Con TV and everybody over there that is making amazing content and allows us to be here on the platform to be a part of your community here at Gen Con TV, as we are so grateful for you to being a part of ours. Make sure that you're also following and hitting that bell or the heart there so that you don't miss out on anytime Gen Con TV goes live, because obviously Path of the Brush is super fun, super cool. But there are so many other amazing content creators doing amazing things with live play RPG stuff. Peter versus the Machine, where he takes on different games himself and kind of talks through them and critiques them as well. And then you have like Blood on the Clock Tower. There's the Vampire the Masquerade game that they do on Tuesdays, Indie by Night. And Thursdays has Blood on the Clock Tower and Roll with Rem Alternus. And then Fridays is Table Takes and where you get all the great news within our industry. We still need to get them to kind of put we're not on the schedule here still for Wednesdays on this part. When you look underneath the the screen here, which makes me super sad.
So sad.
Super sad right in my heart.
Maybe if we were like pirates, we're pirating Gen Con TV.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
The only way we're gonna,
Right. But yeah, there's so many great content creators making amazing content here. The Brothers Murph, so many.
the
So-
Murph.
Right. So hit that heart, hit that bell, and if you are so inclined and have the option to do so, give it a sub, right? So that every dollar that comes into the channel through the subs is obviously put towards making the platform even better with amazing new content. So give it a big look and become part of the community in as many ways as you can. Who else we got here? We got Tabletop Gurus and Hoplite Games. And yeah, I think that's about it. So we got a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to be working on these epic encounters for the next 2 episodes. So stay tuned. It's time. We're at the end of our show. So until next time, I'm Rick.
And I'm Mark.
I'm Will.
And we'll see you at a friendly local game store.